Okay, so our second 2-point perspective, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put our vanishing points a little higher. You'll notice I'm using a finer point. There's going to be a little more detail. And start exactly the same way. You make your line and you draw the tops and the bottoms of that first line to your vanishing point. Now this time we're going to be doing something a little more complicated. So we're going to add multiple edge lines for our objects, and you'll see why in a moment. Now, once you've got those, you draw them once again to the opposite vanishing point. You'll see why it's so important to be aware of that oppositeness in just a second, because after you get the main lines drawn, and yours will be more precise once again. This is just an exercise tutorial, so this just gives you the idea. Not expecting you guys to get this right, but to get the general idea. This should hopefully help you understand what's expected. Alright, so you clean up those extra lines. I guess I'm going to have to get a slightly smaller eraser to clean up in between those blocks, so can't see this on the video, but I'm just selecting a different size eraser. And here you go. I'm erasing the guidelines, and they're guidelines. These are not actual lines. You're going to clean up your lines after you do your composition. You'll notice I tried not to erase my vanishing points because I'm going to need those later. But the guidelines just simply, they're exactly that, they're guides. So now I'm going to switch back to the paintbrush. Now, actually switch the pointer first. See there, at this point, that will go to that back guidelines. And I'm going to switch to the brush, and I'm just going to show you. And it stops there. And this one will go to the opposite one. And this will be a vertical line. I'm going to create my verticals for that back object right there. And we'll spoil the surprise about what these are going to be, although probably most of you guessed it. So there's two sets of rules. There's one set of rules where they move to the vanishing points, and then there's another set of rules where the verticals match the side or your paper or screen, and unlike a one-point perspective, we don't really have any horizontal lines. Although, if you want to, and this is probably a good idea at some point, is to draw the horizon line. Now, if I was doing a big city like New York City, there'd be buildings all the way up to the horizon. For now, we're just going to do this. So there you go, 4 little buildings, and you can draw doorways. And how do you know where the top of the doorway is? Well, it goes from that vanishing point across the top. So I'm going to draw my line in there. Boom. Windows, doors, all of these things will follow these same rules. So we'll put another doorway and the vanishing point. And once again, these, I haven't drawn them perfectly, but they should be vertically done. So if you have a T-square, you want to make these sidelines all completely perpendicular to the bottom edge of the paper. Okay, so let's do that. Upload to Dropbox or do it by hand and turn it in at the end of class.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.